Maybe they can get this insurance run.
That would be nice. God,
wow.
dang,
Is there a UFO landing in your garage or your house?
Yeah. No, I don't like that one. That one's warmer.
That's bright. Bright light.
And yeah, and this is it dimmed all the way down.
Gun rules for dummies. Who's that there for? Oh.
Well, these rules we have taught our children because there are guns in the house.
Right.
And I thought that
Alec Baldwin should see it.
there could
maybe
be
he'll be watching it.
That maybe if Alec Baldwin is paying attention and watching the show, we could help him out and maybe teach him a thing or two.
Now, I haven't read much about the incident because it was hard not to go into the Twitter sphere about all the angry...
All of his anti-gun...
Yeah. So,
boy, that stuff... I'm not going to lie. It was pretty morbid and in poor taste because, a person died.
Right.
But some of the memes yesterday were just absolutely just top-notch.
I haven't seen the memes.
Oh, my God, they're hilarious. I'll have to start going through and I'll just spam you with a shit ton.
Okay. But I was thinking about... I don't know how it happened. My wife was telling me that there were like 3 weapons out on a table. She thinks one of them was real. Like a producer handed him a weapon and said, "Cool gun."
Yeah, so...
And then I don't know if was he shooting a scene and then he was, direct towards the...
I have no clue.
Okay.
So from what I saw, it went from either a producer or assistant director or something like that, handed it to the director, who then handed it to Baldwin, who then, I don't know what he was doing, pointing it at the cinematographer and the director, but apparently there was just live ammo in it.
Yeah, so a round went through her,
pulled the trigger,
and hit him,
and then hit him in the collarbone.
after it went through her.
Yeah.
In the gut or something.
So, yeah, I'm not sure where she got hit. I just know that she was airlifted to a hospital where she passed. But
people are...
Like my wife and I were talking about it. Like criminally, I think he's in the clear.
No, civilly
he's
sued.
He's
yeah,
fucked.
but we were talking about the same thing. There was no intent there for him to shoot anybody. And someone had mentioned maybe negligent homicide because he didn't check the weapon. I mean, but here's a guy who doesn't know guns because he hates guns and he hates people that carry guns. Yet he's in a movie, producing a movie, starring in a movie with guns, handling a gun.
Yeah, everyone's got their price. You can. I'm convinced the thing isn't you can't put a price on morals. I think it is that you can put a price on morals.
Apparently,
or your principles, because
when the money rolls in, I'm okay with guns.
Yeah.
And so, whatever. I feel sorry for the family of the cinematographer.
Yeah. To a degree, I feel bad for him. He's got to live with
that.
Yeah,
on all accounts, I don't think he's a horrible person.
No, I think he's a terrific
I like
actor.
some of his work, obviously.
I like most of his work.
Yeah.
I think he did a hilarious Trump impression.
Yeah, he did.
And he's probably the best Jack Ryan that's been cast.
The closest one.
To the what's described as
right.
in the book, yeah.
So yeah, but he can't say Beetlejuice and bring her back, so that's not going to happen.
Nope.
So I haven't seen the memes.
Number 2.
Wait, what's the first rule say?
Treat every firearm like
it's loaded.
It's loaded. Some would call that the golden rule.
Yes. What's the second rule? Number 2.
Don't point your gun at anything you're not willing to kill. Positively be your target. And Hold on. This is really hard to read backwards, by the way.
So it's number 3. Your radio did this crazy like interference static thing, or your mic did, which happens on occasion. If you've been listening to the podcast, you'll hear it on occasion. Number 3 was positively ID your target.
Positively
so I can see
ID
it.
your target.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, in mine, it's backwards. And number 4, put gun down if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Okay.
Did you write okay?
My wife did. Her handwriting is way better than mine.
We have police. Well, actually, I don't know why yours is so bad. When I started, I was handwriting reports. So your writing should be way better because you don't do that.
My first academy, I had to handwrite all of the reports for the report writing class.
As you
now,
should.
Now it's all typed because that's what you do in the cars. You type everything.
But I would, even though we type everything, I make my recruits handwrite the reports before they type their reports.
Why?
Because I want them to be correct. They make mistakes on the paper. I'd prefer that they learn these mistakes while they're handwriting it and think about shit before they just randomly just write something they can just backspace on and fix it.
That makes no sense.
It's old school stuff. Way before your time.
No, that's just inefficient.
Then I take away their cell phones. They can't use Google to spell check shit. No, I don't do any of that stuff.
You probably make them walk around with a freaking pocket dictionary in this pocket and a thesaurus in this one.
I had a pocket dictionary in my uniform when I started. Because we
didn't
have
in the academy,
Google.
I did too.
That was 3 years ago for you.
Hey.
Or 3.5, 4, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And then it changed because I went from the way the academies used to be run here in California was you would have these separate learning domains that you have to be tested on. And then you would learn the domain, test on the domain, and then move on. So you had, I think it was something like, including the scenario training and all that stuff, you had over like 40 chances of failing out. Like 40 opportunities to fail out.
How'd you get through?
Grace of God. But then when I had to redo it for my current agency, the post system had changed to where now you did a block of learning domains, and then you were tested on them. Then you did another block of learning domains, and then you were tested on them. And then you did a third block of learning domains, and then you tested on them. Now, those tests could cover all of those, and you could get one question on this learning domain, or you could get 5.
Okay.
But it was one. It has its plus and minuses. Like, one, yes, you have to retain the information and actually understand it. But when you were doing the ones right after learning it, that test was solely on what you had just learned. So you got 25 to 30 questions strictly dedicated to that learning domain. So you had to be subject matter expert, even if it was just in a short
subject matter memorize
time span before you had to actually demonstrate understanding.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was
I don't even remember my academy. I remember the experience. I don't remember the minutia of how the classes went. I just remember all the horror.
I just remember that because they were so drastically different. And the first one was way more militarized. Like, we were getting smoked in our Class A's all the time. The second one was like more academically challenging.
Well, being a Metro class officer in the Chicago Police Academy is just like putting a target on your back for all the CPD working instructors there. They don't like the Metro guys, and they will remind you that they are the real police all the time. So, glad I don't have to do that again.
Like that's with game wardens.
Yeah.
Like, your fish cop.
Fish cop. Or we have the Department of Sanitation, Reclamation, something or other.
And proclamation?
And we call them the poo-poo police. And they don't have...
I like that.
They don't have a age, like, limit.
Oh, so it can be like children.
We had all right, over 21, no age ceiling to apply. We had a 60-year-old in our academy. I was the oldest normal police officer in the academy at 33. He was the oldest altogether because he was the poo-poo police.
He was the oldest of all time.
Yeah, I don't think he actually made it through.
We had a 55-year-old in my second academy.
So no age restrictions.
It was just too. I think he was like at the top end.
Okay.
But he just the physical demands of it were just too much for him, and he started breaking down towards the midpoint. He was a really good dude. I liked him.
Yeah, I retook the test when I came back to law enforcement, and I was 50. And obviously I was the oldest asshole in the group. And holy shit, dude, that test, it kicked my ass. Especially you have to run.
Oh, yeah.
You have to run a quarter mile in 90 seconds, which is a 6-minute mile pace. And I'm like,
it's a quarter mile sprint.
Yeah, it sucked. And then all the other things you have to do. It was funny because the fire department's there because they put up a ladder and you got to do this. You got to climb the ladder and you got to. One of the things is you hang from the rungs of the ladder, without dropping down.
I still don't understand why they make you guys climb a ladder.
I don't know. I've climbed one in my career on a call. Maybe that's why they want it to be.
But was that thinking outside the box, or was that normal course of the day of I guess I got to climb this ladder?
Let's go. So the firemen were laughing because they're like, "Hey, old man," because I knew them all.
You're old as shit.
Let's go, old man. But they were all pretty impressed that I kicked that course's ass. So at my age, who's over there? The kids.
It's the.
Are you watching the game?
I think the top of the ninth. Yes, I'm.
I had to shut it off because, as you can see, it's right behind me, and I would be broadcasting half of a game when it goes on to YouTube without the rights.
Without the express written consent of Major League
That's
Baseball. Right. It's for the private, non-commercial use of
Damn it, I had to shut it off. But I can bring it up on my phone.
I'm actually thinking about walking over to the TV and adjusting the angle of it on the swing arm.
You should. Go do it. We're just recording a show. It doesn't matter.
Nah, it's all right. I'm just the co-host. You don't need me.
Yeah. This is the first time Brandon has stepped away from the camera. I usually make a habit out of it. So now Brandon gets to do it. And he's going to make the TV face him so he can watch the Dodgers. Hold on. He'll be able to watch the Dodgers create a furious comeback. Oh, hey, Brandon's back.
If that happens, I'm going to lose my mind.
Are your firearms put away?
Yes. They are.
All right, good.
And I'd have to go upstairs, past the dogs, past the...
Okay, and by then you don't really care.
No, by then I'd lose track of what the hell I was doing.
Right.
Just... Nah.
All right. So you had your kid's birthday party, second party today for the kids.
Yeah, so this was the birthday party for his friends.
Yeah.
So he still has a lot of friends back up where we used to live, and he hasn't seen them pretty much since we moved because, of the infection that shall not be named, so we don't get a little banner somewhere. But he hasn't gotten to see him in a year and a half, so it was really nice to get at least a couple of them down here.
Cool.
A couple of his friends from his martial arts studio. One of which his dad is an FTO in the same place that I work. So, and there is actually an opening on his day shift team. So he and I might be working together.
Very cool. I will hate you if you go to days.
If they ever decide on when they're going to do this FTO class.
I'm sure it'll be inconvenient to both of us.
Oh, yeah. No, it won't be convenient. I think it's only a week long, but...
Oh.
It'd be convenient if they could do it while I was still out on light duty.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could start it on light duty.
Yeah, and then just roll straight into the new team. Although I would like to come back for at least a day or two with my current team. So I think that'd be fun, and then roll into whatever I'm going to do.
How long have you been off?
This is week going into week 5.
Oh, I'm laughing, yet I'm still with you. I'm in my last, hopefully this will be my last upcoming week of light duty. All right.
Yeah, if I will be genuinely surprised if she allows me to return to full duty, because she told me right off the bat that this is 6 to 8 weeks, and then the last appointment she goes, "Hey, I usually tell people to go the full 8, but I get it. How about 7 before we see?" And then I threw out, "Well, why don't we come back at 6, check it, and then if it needs more time, then we just go the full 8." Just, well, okay, well, how about bringing it in at 5, we check it, and then at 7, we take it off. Like, okay. I'm going to try to get you to take it off at 5, but okay. Whatever you want to do, lady.
Okay.
I like this doctor because, I don't know, it seems like she's dealt with either me, which I've never seen this woman before, or someone like me before.
Okay. Maybe your doppelganger.
Because she's been very matter of fact and like, hey, don't fuck around on this.
Yeah.
Like, if you bend, like, this knuckle, you're going to have to start the healing process all over. It's like, so don't fucking do it. I'm like, all right, fine.
Gotcha.
I'll listen, because I'm notoriously bad for not following doctors' orders.
So is this guy. And them. They don't listen to orders very well.
Yeah.
All right, you want to wrap this up? You've been listening to the pre-show on your favorite podcast platform, or you're watching it on YouTube, because somehow
and if you're watching it on YouTube, thumbs up, doesn't cost you. Well, I gotta use this hand because you get the little hang loose sign, and they don't have that option at the bottom.
Can't do this.
Here. So
do this.
Thumbs up, right? Doesn't cost you anything, helps us out. Click the little subscribe button if you like what you're seeing, and if you want to know when we put more stuff out, because sometimes life happens and it gets tricky. Ring the little bell and select all notifications every time we get a video up there. You'll be the first to know.
Ding! All right, cool.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching.
Go Braves.
Go Braves. Go home Dodgers. How do you like that? I like that.
Go back to Los Angeles.
A lot of fat vatos in the crowd.
Is that racist?
I don't know. All right, we're going to go.
I wasn't trying
No,
to.
you're not.
I'm like, there's some Spanish thing. I'm like the Mexican of Europe. I'm Portuguese.
Okay. Yeah, there are many Spaniards that are in LA.
He's okay.
He's okay. He's no problem, as they say in Polish.
He's no problem. He's good.
All right, so peace out, people. Thank you.
Deuces.